Among the notorious members of the Mongols motorcycle gang, one name stands out: Scott Jr. Erickson. Known simply as Scott Jr., he is a figure who inspires both fear and respect, even among his fellow Mongols. But what exactly earned him such a formidable reputation? The answer lies in a complex and mysterious past. In today's story, we explore the true history behind the man who even the Hells Angels are said to fear, the Mongols Motorcycle Club. Originally founded in Montebello, California in 1969, the Mongols began as a relatively mainstream motorcycle club. However, within just 15 years, they had transformed into one of America's most feared outlaw motorcycle organizations. The Mongols became infamous for violence, intimidation, and deadly force, which they used to protect their territory and uphold their reputation. Their criminal activities weren't limited to rival gangs. They were also known for racially motivated attacks, targeting African American gang members and, at times, innocent civilians of color. Because of their brutal tactics, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, labeled the Mongols the most violent and dangerous outlaw motorcycle gang, OMG, in the United States. A lesser-known fact is that a large portion of Mongols members are Hispanic men living in the Los Angeles area, many with previous ties to street gangs and a tendency to settle disputes through violence. Enter Scott Jr. Erickson. One of the most prominent figures in the gang's history is Scott Jr. Erickson. He joined the Mongols Motorcycle Club in 1980, just as the club was gaining national and international attention. Over the years, Jr. rose through the ranks, eventually serving as national president of the Mongols 4 separate times. His leadership played a major role in shaping the club into the global organization it is today. For over 3 decades, Jr. dedicated his life to the Mongols. To him, the club was more than a group of bikers. It was a brotherhood worth risking everything for. Early life and origins. Scott Erickson was born in 1960 in San Diego, California, and raised in a stable and loving home in one of the city's more affluent neighborhoods. Despite this relatively privileged background, he gravitated toward the rebellious side of life. During his teenage years, he was often in trouble, smoking marijuana, getting into fights, and testing boundaries around town. In 1974, during a fishing trip, the 14-year-old Jr. saw something that would change the course of his life. A heavily tattooed, intimidating biker, proudly wearing Mongols insignia. That single image left a powerful impression. By the time he was 16, Jr. had a reputation for being physically tough. He played football with intensity and frequently got into altercations. When his family temporarily moved to Hawaii, it did little to curb his appetite for adventure. He dreamed of visiting far-off places like Paris, Jamaica, and Africa, boxing, biking, and brotherhood. In high school, Jr. and a group of friends founded a small boxing club where he remained undefeated in amateur competition. Despite his success in sports, he couldn't shake the memory of the Mongol biker he had seen years earlier. After graduation, he returned to San Diego, working on a construction site while saving money for a motorcycle. When his earnings weren't enough, he turned to selling marijuana to make up the difference. By 1978, at age 18, he had finally saved enough to purchase a Harley-Davidson Super Glide. Jr. quickly immersed himself in biker culture, riding across town and learning about the violent turf war between the Mongols and the Hells Angels, who were fighting for control over California's territories. The conflict was deadly, with lives lost on both sides. At just 19, Jr. was often denied entry into bars due to his age, until a chance encounter with a Mongol changed his trajectory. The Mongol assured him that riding with the club granted access anywhere. Jr. joined their weekend rides and was eventually invited to their San Diego clubhouse. Although not yet a full member, Junior felt an immediate connection. The wild parties, the sense of belonging, and the outlaw lifestyle appealed to him deeply. He embraced the nomadic, brotherhood-centered culture of the Mongols, but that life came with a heavy cost. The dark reality of outlaw life. Behind the scenes, the outlaw biker world was filled with danger. Members didn't just inherit the Mongols' allies, they also inherited their enemies. The threat of violence was constant, and members were always armed, prepared to defend themselves and their turf. Junior, however, relied not just on weapons, but on his own physical strength. Known for his impressive build and dedication to fitness, he regularly trained at the gym and maintained a powerful physique even in his teenage years. As he rose through the ranks, Scott Jr. Erickson became not just a feared leader, but a symbol of the Mongols' transformation from a California-based club to a global force. His story is one of loyalty, violence, brotherhood, and power, and it helps explain why even the most hardened rivals hesitate when they hear his name. Junior fully committed himself to the Mongols Motorcycle Club. From bar fights to collecting debts, he earned the respect of his peers. As one of the youngest prospects in the club's history, he proved his loyalty through unwavering dedication, eventually earning his official patch. However, membership came with a harsh reality. Within his first year, Junior witnessed the deaths of 3 fellow Mongols. He also found himself involved in a deadly confrontation with a rival gang that resulted in multiple casualties and media backlash, branding the Mongols as violent criminals. In the aftermath, Junior fled to Tulsa, Oklahoma, seeking refuge with fellow Mongols and adopting a new identity to avoid arrest. However, when his brother was arrested, the pressure mounted again. Forced to hide for 6 months, Junior eventually learned of a warrant for his arrest in connection with the murder case. Choosing to face the consequences, he returned to San Diego. The club supported him, providing legal representation that helped him secure a plea deal for voluntary manslaughter. This spared him a life sentence. Despite being the shooter, Junior refused to let anyone else take the blame. He turned himself in and served his time. After his release, he remained closely involved with the club. Once off parole, he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming vice president of the San Diego chapter and later national president at a notably young age. His leadership, however, was marked by violence, including a major incident that drew national attention and reinforced his reputation as a fierce defender of the club. Junior's commitment to the Mongols came at a personal cost. Attempts to leave the biker lifestyle for something quieter were unsuccessful. By the age of 35, he had served multiple terms as national president and was seen as a figure who ensured the Mongols upheld their values. But in 1998, a bar fight led to another arrest. His claim of self-defense was dismissed by authorities, who were eager to bring down the high-profile Mongols Leader. The Mongols Motorcycle Club is known not only for its dangerous reputation, but also for widespread criminal activity. Authorities have tried to crack down on them in various ways, including attempting to ban members from wearing club patches and insignia. However, a California judge later ruled this violated constitutional rights, like freedom of association. To avoid police detection, members developed their own coded language. For instance, Kalelu, Code 55, means to hide any Mongols' symbols or clothing. This helped them move more discreetly without drawing attention from law enforcement. The club has been involved in crimes ranging from drug trafficking and money laundering to extortion, assault, and murder. At one point, they faced 270 arrest warrants simultaneously. Although they were fined $500,000 and initially banned from using their emblem, the ban was overturned, and the fine did little to slow them down. In 2002, Tensions between the Mongols and the Hells Angels erupted at Harrah's Laughlin Casino in Nevada, resulting in 3 deaths. 2 Hells Angels members received 2-year prison sentences in 2007 for their roles in the violence. A major blow came in 2008 with Operation Black Rain, when 4 undercover ATF agents infiltrated the Mongols. The sting resulted in 38 arrests, including then National President Ruben Doc Cavazos, who was later expelled from the club. That same year, Christopher Ablett surrendered after being on the run for the murder of Hells Angels president Mark Papaguardado in San Francisco. Also in 2008, a violent clash in Las Vegas between the 2 gangs left 3 Mongols hospitalized. In another shocking case, in 2014, Mongols member David Martinez was charged with killing a SWAT officer during a police raid in San Gabriel, California. Prosecutors linked him to a Mongols chapter in Montebello, California. The Mongols' history reveals their deep roots in America's criminal underworld. It also highlights the complex relationship between outlaw motorcycle clubs and law enforcement. In many cases, even innocent individuals have been caught up in legal struggles, facing long prison terms for crimes they didn't commit. Still, members like Scott Jr. Erickson remain loyal to their brotherhood, demonstrating the powerful sense of identity and unity within the Mongols nation.